Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a totally fascinating topic from the psychology of social anxiety. We are talking about overcoming that heavy, honestly paralyzing feeling that everyone is constantly analyzing your every single move. So let's explore the science behind why we actually feel this way, and more importantly, how to finally break free. Have you ever just completely clammed up in a meeting? Or maybe you wanted to go crawl into a cave because of some really tiny mistake? You know the feeling. You wore a slightly wrinkled shirt, or you stumbled over a single word, and suddenly it feels like the whole world is just staring right at you. It's a completely exhausting, anxious trap, and it absolutely holds us back from being our authentic selves. Section 1. The illusion of judgment. So, why exactly do our brains play this trick on us? Well, just think about the massive gap between these two mindsets. On one hand, you have our internal anxiety, our own exaggerated belief about how much people are noticing our flaws. We literally think everyone remembers that awkward joke we made like 3 years ago. But on the other hand, the reality of how much they actually notice, it's practically nothing. Understanding this massive discrepancy is our first major pivot.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Spotlight Effect Explained.
Okay, so what is the actual psychology behind this? It turns out scientists have an official name for it: the spotlight effect. It's basically this psychological illusion where we feel like we are the absolute center of everyone else's attention. Our brains vastly, and I mean vastly, overestimate how much people notice our bad hair days or our awkward little moments. We literally feel like there's a physical spotlight tracking our every move. But the key word here is illusion, because, well, it just isn't real. And this brings us to a huge aha moment from the research. Get this. Everyone else is way too busy worrying about their own spotlight to even notice yours. Think about it. That person you're so worried is judging you, they are completely consumed by the fear that you are judging them. They're entirely blinded by their own spotlight. Realizing this is like a total game changer. It means you're actually free. Section 3, the power of being unseen. Now, I know hearing that nobody is watching might actually sound a little bit lonely at first, but we really need to reframe that. Choosing to be unseen isn't about, hiding away in a dark corner. It's about being self-contained. When you finally accept your invisibility to the crowd, you immediately stop leaking all this mental energy trying to manage their perceptions. You start sourcing your worth from the inside. And let me tell you, that is the absolutely fastest path to unshakable confidence. Let's actually break down the practical freedoms you get when you drop this act. Embracing invisibility means you don't need a perfectly curated digital highlight reel. You don't need digital proof, like likes or comments, just to feel valuable. But most importantly, you stop performing for an audience. Think about the massive relief of realizing the theater is completely empty. You can finally just put down the script. Which leads us to Section 4, gaining self-concept clarity. Once you outgrow this mental illusion of the spotlight, you get a really profound psychological reward. It's called self-concept clarity. This is a stable, grounded sense of identity that doesn't depend on feedback from a crowd. And since we already know that crowd isn't even looking anyway, this clarity gives you a rock-solid foundation. You know exactly who you are and what you stand for, completely regardless of the room you walk into.
Section 5, living for yourself.
So what does this actually look like in your day-to-day life? Honestly, it's a complete shift in how you navigate the world. Instead of falling for the illusion of seeking external validation, your reality becomes finding intrinsic meaning in the work itself. Instead of constantly performing for an audience, you're finally just living for yourself. And rather than relying on crowd feedback to tell you if you're on the right track, you get to focus purely on your own progress. This brings us to what I think is the most powerful realization from our source material. The very moment you stop caring about being seen is the exact moment you become truly visible to yourself. Let that sink in. When the deafening noise of that imaginary crowd finally fades away, you can actually hear your own voice and recognize your true, authentic needs. So, I want to leave you with a lingering question to really reflect on today. Are you ready to choose peace over popularity? If you're tired of performing, it might just be time to step out of that exhausting, totally fake spotlight and embrace the true freedom of being unseen. If this mindset shift resonates with you, make sure to hit subscribe so we can keep bringing you these insights. Thank you so much for exploring this topic with me in today's Explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.